Queens Create Dreams, episode 6, with the beautiful Chelsea Cousins, my latest sales associate. Welcome, Chelsea. What are you grateful for today?
Thanks, Jess. Happy to be here. Today, I am very grateful for the sun finally shining after 2 weeks of non-stop rain. Everyone is in a really good mood today.
Oh, I'm so in a good mood. No more trekking farms in the rain.
I know.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, I'm just so grateful to have you on here and part of my team. You're a breath of fresh air. And I wanted to bring Chelsea on today to introduce her to everyone as my latest sales associate, the Queen. And Chelsea, give me a bit of background of you. Like where have you been, where you come from, where are you now?
So I am originally a farm girl. So I grew up on 550 acres.
That's why I hired you.
Yes, out near Casino. Then I went to the city. I studied fashion. I worked in fashion for a really long time. And then I got into real estate. So here I am.
And what got you to go into real estate? Like why real estate?
Well, my passion for where I live is so strong. I think the northern New South Wales coastline is just the best place in the world. And I was living in this area and I just thought, what can I do that's helping people in the area, that's out and about in this area? And I thought real estate, it just made sense. I really wanted to help people and I am so passionate about where we live and yeah.
And how old were you when you started?
I was 26.
And how did you get into the industry?
Basically, I saw a job advertisement for a sales rookie role and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to apply, got the job and yeah, it's been definitely hard work to become an agent and succeed, but yeah.
What are the challenges that you have found?
I think for a young-ish female
You're young.
coming in.
You're more than 10 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Don't give me away my age.
Coming into the industry, you do feel, I think imposter syndrome is a big thing.
Yeah.
And I think the area that I've been working in, you are working with a lot of older clients. A lot of the established agents are male. They are a lot older. They've been in the industry for a really long time. So to be somebody that's like a young female walking into a room with people, I did suffer with imposter syndrome a little bit. And I've had to push through that.
And how, like, explain what that means and how you broke through that.
So for me, it's just all about self-belief and self-confidence and just knowing that you are worthy and you do have something to offer to these people and you can help them. And yeah, I think once you truly believe that, that energy definitely shows and people believe in you too and they trust you.
Yes, yeah, 100%. And I feel like society, they see real estate agents in a different light now. That it is about that genuine authenticity.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I was like you when I started as well, a lot older, but it was daunting at the beginning because you are up against, agents that have been around for a very long time, have a good reputation about them. And you're going to listing presentations knowing that you're up against one of them. But what I have found is that I've just stayed true to who I am and my values and the way I perceive real estate. And it's not transactions, they're people, people trying to find their dream homes or
Absolutely.
sell their home to get to the next dream lifestyle.
And people can see that too. I think people nowadays are really more susceptible to bullshit. Sorry to swear.
Yeah.
But they
Fudge.
want somebody that is going to listen to them and tailor their approach to them. They don't necessarily want somebody that's just going to come in with an agenda and go, this is what we do, this is why it works, and put it on them. People really want a personalised approach and they want to be heard and they want an agent that is actually going to listen to them.
Yes. And they want an agent, I think, also that will take that time with them as well to
Absolutely.
get them know them as a person, not just as a house that you're selling.
Absolutely.
And so how you found the balance personally and professionally? I always like to know this.
I still am trying to find that balance. I think real estate is one of those industries where you are just all in it. So I'm still trying to find that balance, but I think it's really important to have moments and time where you do switch off from work, because you are so on all the time working in real estate. So whether that be your Sunday is, your day where you do things that you love, or whether it's an afternoon during the week, I think it is really important to still have those moments, because it's so easy to just get so caught up in what you're doing, and then before you know it, you've just spent 2 weeks working and you haven't switched off. So it is really important, but I am still trying to find that balance.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because yes, as you know, I work all kind of hours, and we all do.
Yeah.
It's not that glamorous work lifestyle that people perceive. Buyers and owners think we don't have a life outside of real estate, really. So it is important to have that balance and have that Sunday off, and most of us do try to do that. And we've started doing reformer parties in the afternoon or early morning,
Yeah.
which is great. And I think it's good as a team culture as well. And not then, even if I have 10,000 calls coming through, they can wait an hour.
Yeah, I think our Pilates, our little time slots are so good, because I can see Jess there struggling not to look at her phone. It's quite funny to watch.
Hey, don't you love the fact that I diverted my phone to you yesterday?
But yeah, even if it's just an hour, if you're just totally switched off for that hour, it is so important. And then after that, you feel refreshed, because you've actually been forced to put down the phone and take a step away. But I think at the same time too, when you are doing something that you love, it is very easy to just keep doing it and not take a break, which is kind of a good thing sometimes, I think. If I was doing something that I didn't love, yeah, I'd probably easily have lots of downtime away from work, because I wouldn't want to be doing the work. But I do love what I do, and Jess, obviously you do as well. So, it's not that bad.
Look, I do struggle with my phone. We all know that.
Yeah.
But that is also something that I'm trying to learn as well. Like if I go for an afternoon run and my phone's ringing, normally I would stop the run and answer it. But now I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
they can wait. I'll listen to my music. I'll call them back as soon as I get home.
And people understand too, and they want to deal with someone who's a real person who actually does real things, So if you say to somebody, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I was with my family," that's probably going to make them think more of you than taking a call and going, "Oh, I'm in the middle of dinner with my kids," if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I definitely cannot answer my phone with Alfie, as you
No.
know.
But people want real people that they're dealing with in business nowadays.
Oh, 100%. They, like you said, they don't want the bullshit. They
No.
don't want the sales. They want someone that will connect and do the best thing by them.
100%.
They're selling big, assets of their life.
Yeah, and it's emotional. It's an emotional transaction.
Yeah, 100%. And so what advice would you give to someone wanting to come into the industry?
I think it's never too late to get into real estate. It's one of those industries where it doesn't matter what age you are, if you have the right mindset and you're willing to work hard and you like people.
You definitely need to like people, because if you're not a people
Yeah.
person, you're in the wrong industry.
Yeah. If you don't like people, I would suggest to stay away. But if you want to get into real estate, just start. I mean, find a foot in the door, get in with a good agency, whether it's a sales associate role, whether it's, even just a reception role. Just dip your toes and get into an industry. If you work hard, present well, are willing to show up and put in the effort, you will succeed.
You need to put in the effort to succeed.
It's not a half in kind of job. You've got to be all in, but it's so rewarding.
I find so talking about rewarding, when you did your first listing presentation or sale, how do you feel in that moment? Tell us a bit about that.
So my first sale actually went really well, which was amazing.
Why do you say actually? This is that self-doubt.
Because I know,
you know.
I know. This is the imposter syndrome coming in. But obviously, my first sale was very nervous. But um, it was, though, I think the standout thing for me was how happy the vendor was at the end of the campaign, because we achieved a really amazing price for her. It was a street record, and she was downsizing, and it just left her in a really, really good situation at the end of it. So I think just how grateful she was, and to be able to help somebody in their life and make a positive impact and try to do it in a way that was as smooth and stress free as possible, to me was huge. And that really inspired me and went, yeah, okay, this is what I love to do. And I'm really passionate about this. So I was so grateful that that was my first sale.
And getting a street record for your first sale, like, wow.
Yes, it was amazing. Yeah.
And so where do you see yourself next?
Well, working alongside you, Jess. I think for me, I'm really excited to work alongside you because of the properties that we're working on. I did grow up on a farm, so to be working on farms with you is amazing, and I am really passionate about it. And I think one of the reasons why I made the decision to team up with you, Jess, is because I wanted to align with people that I feel have the same values, have the same drive, and just have that same energy. And I think that's so important. And I think as I get older, I do start to take stock of the people around me and who's a positive influence and who's positive energy. And I think as you get older, you get a bit more ruthless with that. And that's something I've had to really be a bit brutal about in this last year, and surround myself with the right people. So I think, yeah, teaming up with Jess and working on the type of properties that we are working on, which are lifestyle properties, I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, you want parachutes, not anchors. That's something I learnt.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it took me a while also to learn that. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I was your age when I figured it out. I think I've been in my 30s when I finally figured out, those anchors that hold you down, and surrounding yourself with people that align with you and what you can achieve out of that.
It's so important.
And even like with you coming on board, I'm just like, this is just a breath of fresh air. Like, this is amazing. I can just see the business thriving, and it's not about the growth in terms of dollars, but it's about the expansion as us as agents in the areas we're going. Like you mentioned on the farms, like, it's funny, my CEO Tiger said when he hired me, he's like, I never thought you'd be the farm girl. Like, no one in the office ever thought I'd be the farm chick. And here I am, although we do list other luxury penthouses and everything like that, and wedding venues, and I don't know where to next. I don't know where we're going to go. We might have an island soon.
Yes.
So
I'm
that will
very
be
excited
fun.
for the island.
Yes. We will catch a helicopter there.
Yes.
So I think what I saw in you, it's not I think, is that you have the same drive as me. You are an energizer bunny and making calls still till 5:36 on a Saturday, where a lot of agents wouldn't be doing that. And we like to service our owners and our buyers, and it's important to connect with both sides so we can align their dream lifestyle and be there and be happy when you see that end result.
Absolutely.
Like, it's the most rewarding. I know it's a ruthless, hard industry, but it's also so rewarding and enriching.
Absolutely.
And the paths that we cross, like, I don't know about you, but I've crossed so many paths with owners that those owners were friends or knew my grandfather, for instance. And someone goes to me, oh, how are you picking up all these farms? And it's old generation. And old generation, they talk to old generation. And so then you sell one farm of old generation, that owner will go and talk to the other farmer that's looking at selling. And it's just like this cycle. But like love the fact that you like to come on bushwalks with me and trek. But it's taking that time also with our buyers and our owners and sitting down and having tea and a bicky, and they're the things I
Absolutely.
love.
Yeah, it's all about connection. And
Yeah.
that's why I think a lot of people get into the industry is because they do love connecting with people. And I think that's also what a lot of people in the industry sometimes lose because they're listing all this property and it becomes very fast paced. But I think slowing it down, spending the time with people, which is something that I've seen you do really, really well, is just the time that you will spend with your clients to make sure that they feel heard and that their needs are being met. And that's what's so important is how you make people feel. And that's what people remember from the whole process is, amazing to get a result, amazing sale result. I mean, that's fantastic. But how you make them feel throughout that process is so important because that's what's going to get you your future business.
Yeah. And I feel that is where the reward comes in too.
Yeah.
It's not the monetary side of things. Like, not for me anyway, and I think you're exactly the same as me. It's my reward is seeing the end result of that person and how they feel when they've sold their house or they've bought their first home or second home or their investment property or their home for the kids. It's so enriching.
Absolutely.
And so tell me, what do you think makes a good agent? I guess we kind of briefly gone it, but what do you think makes a good agent?
I think
What do you think?
besides the, I guess, obvious things like you need to be well presented, well spoken, able to connect with people. That's like we all know that. But I think being a good listener is so important and something that does get lost sometimes. And actually caring about people is very important and not just being in it for yourself to make yourself money. I think that's a very quick way to, get out of the industry basically. People can see that nowadays. So you do have to genuinely want to help people and genuinely care about people to succeed these days.
And how do you feel in terms of, how real estate's kind of changed, where there was such a huge proportion of males in the industry, and a lot less females. As a female, do you find any challenges in that area, or do you find collaboration? How do you think it works?
I try not to dwell on it, to be honest. It's easy to get caught up in a, I guess, victim mindset and go, oh, I'm a female, I'm a young female, they're not going to take me seriously. So I just push that out of my mind. I've had to do that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to show up with the energy that I need to. So, yeah, that's kind of how I go about it. And I just look at the strengths of being a woman, being able to connect with other women, empathize in a way that, sometimes males may not be able to empathize with females on the same level that we can. So it's actually, for me, a blessing. And I just focus on the positives of being a female and what I can bring to people's lives.
And as a female, what are those positives?
I think I don't want to make it seem like, oh, males don't have these qualities, because
No.
I know so many males in the industry that have so much empathy and they are so caring and warm. But I think as a female, obviously, to empathize with other females who are often the decision maker in a relationship is just something that a male couldn't do to the same degree that we could. Yeah.
So you grew up on farms. How long were you on a farm, and what did you learn?
I was on a farm basically my whole childhood until I finished high school and went, I'm moving to the city because I couldn't wait to get away from the farm. I wasn't super farmy girl as a kid, but, I loved riding horses and all that stuff. I wasn't into the cattle work, but I left that to my brother.
Wow, yeah, which is interesting because
Yeah.
remember when we were on the farm the other day with the owners, and they were talking about that and the changes with farming and the sugar cane, for instance, the importing from overseas now sugar because it's cheaper than getting labour on the farm. So, they're running out of business as well,
Yeah, and
which
there's all
is,
these external things that you just don't have control over in the farming industry. So it is a really tough gig.
and I know I briefly said this in the car, but do horses and cows get along?
They do.
Okay. I always wondered.
I did have to stop and think about that when you asked that question. I was like, wait a minute, do they? They do.
So, because we do have a shoot coming up that's got
Yes.
horses and cows that I've organised, and I'm like, do they get along, or is one going to kick the other?
No, they're fine.
So my next question to you is, what if you had your time again? Obviously, you started with fashion. Would you have started real estate earlier?
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, I don't like to be someone that goes, oh, I regret this or I wish I did
Yeah.
this, because you can't go back in time. But yes, I think real estate, if you are thinking about it, think, oh, it could be for me, I'm not sure, just do it. Just try it out, because I do wish I got into it sooner, just seeing how rewarding it is, and there's just no limits to what you can achieve. So
Oh, there's definitely no limits,
how
especially in our
do you
boundary.
wish you got into it sooner?
I did. So I got into real estate because I originally wanted to get into property development. Not saying I don't want to get into property development now, but what happened was, like, I built my first home in 2013, and then I bought an investment, then I bought another investment, and then I sold everything off to build then my dream home. And so the plan was, as soon as I settled on that dream home, I'd buy land to build some duplexes and start my property development that way. But at the same time, that's when COVID hit. So I took a back step and went reevaluated. I'd only, like, Alfie was only 6 months old. So I was like, oh, what do I do now? And it just made sense to get into real estate. If I look back, I wish, when I sold my wedding company, I wish I'd gone into real estate then, but it's that wish, could have, should have kind of motion. And I'm like you, there's no age. You can
No.
start whenever. So I only started when I was 35, which is quite old to start in real estate. Not that I feel old. But I'm
You're not old. You're not old.
It's okay.
35 is not old.
Well, a lot of people think I'm still 30, so we'll just go with that. I even convinced someone that I was 31 the other day, which I'm not. My advice to anyone that wants to get into real estate is, if you're getting into it for money, it's not the right industry for you. Because I know it sounds silly, people getting into real estate for money, and that's their main goal. It's just like any other career. There is obviously the money reward at the end, but if you don't have that passion, drive, and that thrive and love for the industry, you're going to burn out.
100%.
Like you mentioned, it isn't a role that you have where your phone never stops, for instance. Like, I had to divert my phone yesterday just to have a break yesterday afternoon. So I can't go anywhere. I can't be sitting on the beach with the kids without my phone ringing. I guess it's up to us if we answer and everything like that. But business is business, and you want to be there for your buyers and owners. So in most cases, I will pick up my phone, even if it is on a Sunday, which I'm trying to break that habit out of too.
Yeah.
But it is so rewarding, and I'm just loving it. And I'm just loving the fact we've now teamed up, and we are the farm girls, but we're also the coaster girls, and we've got some exciting listings coming up.
It's so exciting.
And some cool photo shoots next week. It was funny, a buyer's agent rang me yesterday, and he said to me, he's like, I can't wait to see what your next video is. He's like, you're doing really cool stuff on social media, and I think we're breaking the norm in real estate.
That's what I love about us. I think we are thinking outside of the box, doing things a little differently, and you kind of have to nowadays to stand out.
You need to capture the audience as well.
To stand out from the crowd.
You want buyers and even a friend of a buyer to see something on social media and forward it to a potential buyer and get that market to be attracted to the property, because as we know, the more buyers, the more price competition.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's wait to the next episode and see where we are. Let's get it, girl.
I'm so excited.